All right. What is up, everybody? This is Cedric, and we're back on. I wouldn't say back on Black Ops 6 because we're actually on Warzone, which is probably odd to see in this channel because most of the videos I've recorded are on the multiplayer side of things. And why does my FOB look so different? But I think the last time I was playing Warzone, which was probably like a week ago, I had my FOB set wrong. Maybe. I don't know. I actually, well, first of all, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel, Nat Black Ops 6. We're on Warzone today because I want to have a very interesting conversation for a little bit. I'm actually, as I'm recording this, leaving tomorrow. I have some stuff to do. I'm not gonna be here for a couple of days, but I wanted to leave some stuff prepared just because I have an issue with uploading videos more often, but that's a conversation for some other day. And before I start, I actually changed my processor for my computer because I think I mentioned this before. I'm not really sure, but my previous processor was an Intel 14th gen, and it was showing signs of dying, and I'm not really sure why. Well, I kind of know why, because I had the same issue with my previous processor, which was a 13th gen, and it was an i9 to be specific. I think I messed up here. I wanted to off myself, but I messed up. It was starting to show the same signs of degrading as the other processor that I had before, and I decided to just make a change. I saved up a little money. I sold my car, not because I wanted to get a new processor, but just because I wasn't using it as much, and because of that I had some money to get a new processor and a new motherboard. So I got a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, which apparently is supposed to be like the best one out there, and from what I've seen, it's doing pretty well, so it's an exciting change. Now, the actual conversation that I wanted to have is, did Warzone ruin Call of Duty? And it's a very interesting question because a lot of people have different opinions about it, and that's why I wanted to bring this up today. I think Warzone sentiment is at an all-time low right now from what I've seen, and I think it's, at least from the casual side of things, and by casuals I mean the demographic of players that are casual players. They probably feel like it's in a good state because of the casual playlist that they added, where you can now play against bots. And from what I've seen, some people actually want it to be full of bots, not just like like I don't know how many it is, like 80% of the lobby. They want it to be a lot more. That would be an interesting thing to see, because like I think people's egos would be inflated through the roof, because that would be an insane thing to see. They would get so many wins that they would probably feel like they're better than they actually are, and that would be a good thing, or for the business side of things. I personally think that Warzone didn't necessarily ruin Call of Duty, but it did affect very negatively the other sides of the game. And that's only because I don't think Warzone really ruined Call of Duty, but I think it affected it very negatively because they had to make a very big change. And that is, they had to all their focus into this one game mode, and they didn't really have all that much to like really, or all the resources necessary to focus on developing every aspect of the game properly. Like if you think about Modern Warfare 2019, they had a lot of very interesting choices for the multiplayer side of things. For some reason, the developers wanted the game to be very realistic, and it wasn't really working with the Call of Duty formula, because it's semi-realistic in some aspects, but some others it's just over the top. So and I think we've talked about that in a previous video a little bit, but because of that, the multiplayer side of things was not doing that well. I mean, it was a fun game because it had like really great mechanics, like the slide canceling, and gunplay felt amazing, and that's kind of what brought me back into multiplayer, because I had quit for a while. Black Ops 4 wasn't my cup of tea, which is probably a little bit of a hot take, maybe not so much, because a lot of people think about that game very fondly, but if you really think about it, it wasn't that great. because it didn't have a campaign. Multiplayer was kind of trying to be something that it wasn't really. It was trying to be more of a hero shooter than just an arcade shooter, but different conversation. It's kind of interesting to see people play in this game mode, but I just wanted to have something in the background so I could focus a little more on the conversation. But yeah, because it was a little different, the choices that they made for the development was kind of odd. Then they released this new game mode that originally they really didn't have it planned to be a free-to-play game mode, and also they didn't really have it planned to be something that was going to last for years. So of course they didn't make the foundations for it, so they had to work on that as well. So of course that was going to affect the other game modes, but they had something great to start with. Unfortunately, because of all the games that they started adding to Warzone, and of course that would basically mean that they had to add a lot of new stuff to the same foundation, it would start to like maybe get too heavy at the top, and the foundation was gonna kind of start to crumble a little. So of course they made that change to Warzone 2, and they made a lot of changes again, and they took a gamble, and that's an unfortunate thing, because the new game mode that they released with Modern Warfare 2 2022 was kind of fun. If you look at it from the casual extraction shooter perspective, it was a fun game mode. I had a lot of fun playing it when I wasn't thinking this is Call of Duty, but it had the same core mechanics of Call of Duty. Gunplay was great. Movement was kind of iffy because it was kind of slow, but that was the objective of that's the idea of an extraction shooter. It's supposed to be kind of slow. It's supposed to be slower than a battle royale, because you're supposed to like scavenge for resources and then extract and try to survive and things like that. So of course it requires a more slow pace for the game. So all the mechanics that they added, like backpacks and things like that, was they worked great with that game mode DMZ. That also affected the way Battle Royale was perceived, because it made Battle Royale a little more like traditional Battle Royales. You had to scavenge for supplies, you had a backpack that you could use for inventory and things like that, but it didn't feel like the original Warzone, so it affected it. And again, they had to focus and sort of segregate their resources a lot more, or separate the resources a lot more, because now they had to work on Warzone and then also that other game mode, and on top of the other game modes that they already have. So they took a gamble with that game mode. It didn't work, so they had to backpedal with a lot of the decisions that they made. That's when they started making it a little more like the original Warzone, but because it's a slightly different engine and different weapons and things like that, it just didn't feel the same. Again, it comes back to that idea of like, it didn't really ruin the game itself, but it ruined a lot of the experiences that people were expecting, and a lot of the wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to do, placing those wrap mines at the store. Let's see what he's gonna do here. Is that a bot? I can't really tell, but I wouldn't say it 100% ruined it, because it provided an additional experience to new players. And if you're a full just Warzone player, for you it's just gonna be an amazing experience, because you got a lot of content out of the different seasons that they had. But as just a regular multiplayer player, you probably felt a little left behind. That's where the perspective comes in, because if you were a multiplayer player, you would feel like it ruined the whole experience, because now they're giving all their focus to Warzone. But if you're a Warzone player, then you would feel like it didn't really ruin it. Like you would feel like it made it better, because I had this complicated relationship with Call of Duty at the time. I came back as a Warzone player, and Warzone was what made me start playing multiplayer again. And for some reason, it didn't make me feel like it ruined it. As time went on, it made me feel like maybe it was affecting it a little too much, and they didn't really know how to organize the resources that they had. And by resources I mean like the developers that they have or that they had at the time. So it's a difficult question to ask me or ask myself, because I enjoyed Warzone for a while. Now I kind of feel a little burnt out, so I don't play as much, but I still play it every now and then with friends that don't have MP. But players that had been playing multiplayer and never really quit do probably feel like it ruined their experience. So it's more of an experience focused question, because it all depends on your experience with the game. And damn, this guy is like really using his ears here. Damn. It's a difficult question to answer depending on how you feel about the game. I've always enjoyed it. Of course, I've had my moments where I just like didn't really want to play anymore, just like with any other game, because it's more of an unk thing. I'm hitting my unk years now, so I don't always feel like playing, because I don't always feel like I want to try my best to like win one match or to get like as many kills as possible. Sometimes I just want to chill, and I can't always do that with Call of Duty, unfortunately. With this casual mode, the first time I played it, I actually had a lot of fun. Because my unk status is just, you know, hitting me in the wrong places. I don't know. I feel like I had a little more of a fun experience here with the casual mode. But for casual players, that's why I was mentioning that. For casual players, it's probably a great addition. For regular players, it probably doesn't do all that much, because like a lot of people still want to have feel like they're fighting for something, that there's a challenge to the game. But sometimes, you know, with the unk status, you don't always want to keep fighting for your life to just get 10 kills in one match. You don't want to feel like everybody's watching you. But I don't know. I think it's just an interesting conversation to have with yourself. Did Warzone really ruin the game, or did it just affect it negatively in different ways? Or maybe it's not even a question that you have to ask yourself. You already know that it didn't affect it and that the game's doing just fine. Because, you know, if you're a Warzone player, you know, you keep getting updates, you keep getting all this content. And lately I have noticed that they try to like focus a little more on the MP side of things, then it becomes an issue for the zombies players or the zombies community. Because if you've noticed, the last time they released a map was like season what, 3 or 4? No, I know this is season 4. They probably released, yeah, it was season 3. Season 4 didn't have anything as far as maps go, just the new game mode, the grief game mode. But for season 5, they're releasing the last zombies map, and that means that season 6 is not gonna get anything, at least for zombies. Who knows? It's always this sort of shift that they always had to do. Like, they'll focus more on one game mode, but that means that they have to kind of forget about another. And I'm sure that Treyarch, as far as zombies goes, they're now focusing more on Black Ops 7. They probably have like a very small crew working on zombies for Black Ops 6, and that's why they don't have as much content. Of course, you could always blame whoever's in charge of planning the content for future seasons, because like they could probably work on a lot of maps, but of course they also have to take into account like the lore for the maps, the story, where is it gonna take it, what is it gonna be about, how is it gonna affect it, and it becomes another issue there. But they could just release like random maps, like the way they sometimes do with MP, where they take a part of the big map and they just slap it onto the game, and they'll put like some borders within the game so that it's a smaller map, and then they'll just release it for MP. They had some issues with that a while back, where they were making a lot of maps like that and people didn't really like it, so they started adding more original maps, which they can definitely make changes to an area of a larger map and make it so that it's an enjoyable map. But of course, the way they usually think of a large map and the areas that they have within it, like POIs and stuff, it's usually more of it's more thought of for a sort of just running through and not really you know, staying there and like fighting for like 10 minutes. It's like you'll fight in certain areas and then move away from that, and it makes it a little difficult. But I'm sort of going into a completely different conversation there. But yeah, for me, I don't know if it really ruined it. It did affect it a lot, but I don't think it completely ruined the experience for me, because I made that switch. But if you were constantly playing MP and then you see the game mode that you love getting one map a season, it's kind of crazy. 2 maps if you count the remaster maps that they were adding at some point. And sometimes it even feels like it's not that many maps anyway, because like it takes so long for a season to come out, and like their season reloaded, and they always sort of split up the maps that they release for like the release of the season and then the season reloaded update, that it feels like you're not getting as many maps. So I think that they should change their the way they advertise it, so that it doesn't feel like they're taking away maps from like the release date of the season, just so that they can have something for the season reloaded update. That's just the way I see it, because like sometimes I'll see, oh, it's gonna be 5 maps, and I'm like, that's a lot. And then I see 3 maps for the release, and then in season, which means season reloaded update, for 2 of them, and I'm like, well, that's just 3 maps that they're releasing. So it makes it feel a lot less. But I don't know, that's just the way I see it. Maybe it's a completely different thing for other people, but I'm wondering if this guy's gonna win, because like he's been getting a few kills, but I think most of them have been bots, and I don't know if he's gonna be the one getting the kill. Did run into another player. It was pretty obvious that it was a player, because they slid. They were like trying to fight him, but they were not that great, so they lost. But it's been an interesting development in the game. I'm just spectating, so it's gonna I don't know where it's gonna go. It sometimes wins, like the previous video that I talked about winning. It's the same thing, at least for me. It's the same thing for in Warzone. It doesn't feel like winning is all that much. Like it doesn't feel like a big of a deal as it did when Warzone first came out. Nowadays it just feels like, well, we won. Yeah, it's great, but it doesn't feel as exciting. And that's just the tolerance that I've built up to winning. And it's not like I win every match, but it's just like it doesn't feel as rewarding as it did for some reason. I don't know, it just feels odd. Where's this guy gonna go? Okay, is he gonna fight him? Wow, dude, why did he not fight him? There's no way that was a bot, because he was driving that. Honestly, I don't even know if I could have commented on that fight any more than I just did. Something that I do find interesting is, and this has nothing to do with the question that I brought, but something that I do find very interesting is how some content creators can be so great at commentating over gameplay of other people gaming. Like they can talk about like what's their best choice, what they should be doing. Like Face Jeff, I know I mention him a lot, but like he's the main guy that I usually watch. And like whenever he's doing like this spectating series thing, I don't know how he does it, but he makes it so entertaining, and I'm kind of jealous, you know, because I wish I could do that, but I don't know how they do it. I think he's like the best one at it, but there's a lot of other people that also make videos and stuff like that, so it would be kind of biased of me to say like he's the best one. It feels like he is, but you never really know. Does he know that he can just like mark him and it leaves them marked for a little bit? I don't think he knows. Come on, dude. I'm rooting for you because I've been watching you play for so long. Oh no, we have someone on a chopper that's probably gonna just be flying it around. Wait, no, someone got him. Oh wait, never mind. It just didn't show him in the mini map. But he's just gonna keep flying around. And I think if we were a better community, everybody would focus on shooting down the helicopter and then fight each other. But we're not that great at communicating that kind of thing. Because sometimes I feel like we could, like, whenever they're like someone's trying to kill me and I'm trying to kill someone else, I feel like it could help me kill that other person, and then they can shoot me instead, and they would probably have an easier time after that. But it's difficult. Yeah, he's just gonna move away. He should have held that for a little longer. Hey, wait, did he throw that? I didn't even notice that. I don't think he did. No, he probably did. I just didn't notice. Shoot the helicopter. Shoot the chopper, dude. Oh man, they're just gonna fight each other probably. But I think it's definitely gonna be a little harder for the guy on the helicopter to stay within the zone. This is getting kind of interesting. Now, the best option that this guy has is just to wait here and wait for the other guy to run over, or the other guys actually, because there's a few more. There's 2 more guys, the helicopter guy and this other one that just killed someone. But yeah, his best choice, best course of action is just to wait. He's pushing now. Okay, there you go. Now you gotta do something about the helicopter. But I don't think he can really do, or the helicopter guy can't really do all that much other than wait. Oh, he dropped. That's crazy, dude. Why? Okay. He could have just pushed a little earlier. What happened here? What is this? Why did he do that? I'm trying to understand, but I don't know. Who cares? This guy won. I was rooting for him actually, so I'm kind of glad he did win that match. But yeah, let me know. What do you think? Do you think Warzone ruined Call of Duty, or do you think it just did the inevitable? It made it change, and people didn't like that change at some point. I would like to know. Leave a comment. If you like this type of videos, please leave a like. Consider subscribing. Those 2 things help the channel a lot. We have a total of 4 subscribers as I'm recording this, and it's exciting to see that number. I never thought that I was gonna see that many in the big old 2025. But other than that, thank you for watching. Take care, drink some water, tell your mom you love her, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.